If you're thinking about starting a new life in Canada, pause for a second. Because not every city is the dream it seems to be. In fact, some places might just turn your dream into a struggle. High costs, lack of opportunities, discrimination, and housing nightmares, these cities are driving immigrants away faster than ever. Stay with us as we reveal which cities in Canada new immigrants should avoid. And why. 1. Vancouver, British Columbia. Vancouver is one of the most beautiful cities in Canada, surrounded by mountains, ocean, and full of stunning views. But beneath the surface, it can be a financial nightmare for newcomers. The cost of living here is ranked among the highest in North America, and the rental market is brutal. Even with a full-time job, many immigrants find it nearly impossible to afford rent, let alone save money. What makes things worse is the job market. While there are plenty of positions in hospitality or retail, landing a professional job that matches your qualifications is far harder than you might expect. Many new immigrants end up underemployed, working jobs that don't reflect their skills or education. And if you're a skilled worker in healthcare, engineering, or tech, you might still find your foreign credentials are not recognized without jumping through years of extra certification. On top of that, there's a growing sentiment among immigrants that Vancouver feels exclusive not because of blatant racism, but due to subtle social divides. It's a city where it can be hard to break into social circles if you're not from a certain background or don't speak fluent English. Newcomers often report feeling isolated and disconnected, despite the city's multicultural image. And don't get us started on housing. Even small one-bedroom apartments can cost upwards of $2,500 a month, and affordable housing options are almost non-existent. If you're coming to Canada with a family, your challenges will multiply quickly. So yes, Vancouver is beautiful. But for many new immigrants, it's more postcard than paradise. 2. Toronto, Ontario. Toronto is often seen as the land of opportunity in Canada, especially for immigrants. It's home to one of the most diverse populations in the world. But that diversity comes at a steep price, literally. Toronto's housing market has become unaffordable for even the middle class, let alone a newcomer trying to find a stable start. One of the major challenges in Toronto is competition. It's fierce. Jobs that used to be easy to get now receive hundreds of applications. Immigrants face additional hurdles like lack of Canadian experience, which employers often use as an excuse not to hire. This can make it extremely frustrating for professionals trying to re-establish their careers. There's also an increasing concern around discrimination in hiring practices. While Toronto brands itself as inclusive, many immigrants, especially those from visible minorities, report being overlooked in favor of Canadian-born applicants. This makes integration into the workforce a slow and discouraging process. Transit is another problem. Despite being the biggest city in Canada, Toronto's public transportation system is outdated, unreliable, and increasingly expensive. If you don't live near a subway line, commuting to work can eat up hours of your day. Toronto may offer opportunities, but it also demands high sacrifice. For many new immigrants, the pressure, isolation, and financial strain make it one of the toughest cities to start over in. 3. Regina, Saskatchewan. You might think the prairies offer affordable living and wide open spaces, but for new immigrants, Regina can feel more isolating than inviting. Regina is the capital city of Saskatchewan, but when it comes to welcoming immigrants, the experience can be quite mixed. On the surface, the city offers opportunities in sectors like agriculture, oil, and public service. There's also an effort to attract skilled workers through provincial nomination programs. But once you arrive, the reality sets in quickly. Regina's biggest challenge for immigrants is its size and limited diversity. Unlike Toronto or Vancouver, where cultural enclaves exist and support networks are more developed, Regina lacks a significant immigrant community. This means many newcomers struggle to find cultural connections, community support, or even basic services tailored to non-English speakers. Even finding food that matches cultural preferences can be a weekly challenge. Then comes the job market. While Saskatchewan promotes immigration to fill labor gaps, many newcomers find themselves stuck in survival jobs, cleaning, warehouse work, or manual labor, even when they're highly educated. Credential recognition is a huge barrier in Regina, and many professionals are forced to start over or leave the city altogether to find better opportunities elsewhere. Housing is relatively affordable compared to cities like Calgary or Vancouver, but wages in Regina haven't kept up with inflation. The winter months are brutally cold, often dropping below -30°C. Combine that with limited public transportation and you have a recipe for isolation, especially for newcomers who don't drive. Another concern is racism and cultural bias. While not as overt as in some parts of the world, there have been growing reports of discrimination in workplaces and rental housing. Some landlords are hesitant to rent to immigrants, and many report being passed over for promotions or jobs due to accents or cultural background. The city has made some progress with community initiatives like the Regina Open Door Society, but the scale of support doesn't match the need. Many immigrants feel invisible in Regina, used for labor but not integrated into community decision-making or leadership positions. For those moving with families, the education system is solid but not particularly diverse. Children may face bullying or exclusion in schools where multicultural understanding is limited. And for spouses, especially women, employment options are even more constrained. Regina isn't hopeless, it has potential, but for immigrants seeking a welcoming, vibrant, and opportunity-rich place to start fresh, it may not be the best first stop. 4. Windsor, Ontario. It's close to the US, it's got factories, and it looks affordable, but many immigrants say Windsor isn't the dream they were promised. On paper, Windsor seems like a solid choice for immigrants. It's located right across the river from Detroit, it boasts a lower cost of living than Toronto, and it's home to a strong auto manufacturing industry. But for many newcomers, the reality is far more complicated. First off, the job market in Windsor can be very hit or miss. While some immigrants with trade skills may find work in factories, others quickly discover that many of these positions are either temporary, low-paying, or physically demanding. For educated immigrants, especially those with degrees from abroad, the city offers little in the way of professional development. Credentials are often not recognized, and job placements rarely match the experience or qualifications of the newcomer. Then there's the economy. Windsor has been trying to bounce back from years of economic stagnation, but the pace is slow. This leaves immigrants feeling stuck in low-income cycles with few options for upward mobility. Even worse, Windsor's public services, such as employment centers and newcomer integration programs, are underfunded compared to bigger cities, making it harder to get the help many immigrants need when they arrive. Culturally, Windsor is growing more diverse, but not fast enough to create a strong support system for newcomers. Community resources for non-English speakers or specific ethnic groups are limited, and many new immigrants feel isolated. There are few cultural centers or events that help immigrants connect and feel a sense of belonging. And let's not forget the housing issue. While rents are lower than Toronto's, so are the wages. Many immigrants report spending a disproportionate share of their income on rent, while still living in subpar conditions. Combine this with underemployment and lack of social mobility, and Windsor starts to feel like a trap rather than a stepping stone. For immigrants hoping to find success and opportunity in Canada, Windsor can be a harsh wake-up call. It's a city with potential, but not yet prepared to support the diverse and skilled newcomers that arrive looking for a new beginning.